Hello, everybody. I'm Mike,
And I'm Maria, and
and this
welcome to
to Talk
Talk
Alley.
Alley.
So, happy Sunday, everyone. Maria, this is our 36th episode on Talk Alley.
Yes, I can't wait for the 40th.
Yes.
Actually, it's been a very busy week for me. I've been in various Zoom meetings after meetings every day. So, yeah, I can't even feel the pandemic actually. I'm so busy with work. So, Mike, here in Germany, how's the COVID situation?
Yeah, so here in Germany, the COVID situation, for example, in Bavaria, the COVID situation is tough. The Christmas
Mhm.
markets are closed or they're getting canceled because the incidences are rising. That's, of
Mhm.
course, really sad, especially for the
Yes.
children, of course,
Yeah.
which have to suffer another non-buzz Christmas bazaar on
Mm-hmm.
their towns. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's for their safety. So Bavaria imposed a lockdown on all districts that have a 7-day COVID incidence rate of over 1,000. Yeah, you have to imagine 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
During the height of the pandemic last year, we had a height of 200, 250. But throughout the whole
Mm-hmm.
Germany
Germany.
states, we have a ranging between 130 to 1,000 now.
Wow.
Yeah, and with that, our health minister Jens Spahn, the health
Mm-hmm.
minister, said that Germany's COVID situation is now so grave that a lockdown, including for people who have been vaccinated, could not be ruled out.
Wow.
So, yeah, not so good.
Yeah, definitely. And in Austria, it became the first country in Europe, Western Europe, to reimpose a full national lockdown. Oh, hi Maricel, there in Austria.
Yeah, I hope you're holding up there.
Yes, this autumn to tackle a new wave of infections and will require its whole population to be vaccinated as of February. The new lockdown is set to last until the 12th of December,
Mhm.
but could be reevaluated after the 10 days if the pandemic situation has improved. And we hope, of course, that it will improve.
Yes, we have also heard that crowds of rioters who torched cars and threw rocks at police who responded with warning shots and a water cannon as protests against COVID-19 measures were taking place in Netherlands in the city of Rotterdam.
Mm-hmm.
This is now the second day, and we still hear the news going on. This is a
Mm-hmm.
shout out to our uncle and yeah,
Yeah,
who are there somewhere in the Netherlands.
yes.
We hope and pray that everyone will be and stay safe. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and out there, our OFWs and Filipino immigrants who have migrated there, please be safe.
Yes, please be safe. That's right. Mike, a lot of all OFWs in Europe are frontliners,
Mhm,
right?
yes.
And we thank you, of course. We always say it, but we really mean it. That we really thank you for your service, and we are praying that you remain healthy and safe. Mike, you work with the European Space Agency, right?
Yes, Maria, I've been looking forward to meeting our guests for
Mm-hmm.
today's episode because we are, so to say, working in
In
the
the
same
same field,
field.
industry,
Yes.
yeah. Right. Rishti. But before we introduce our guest, this episode is brought to us by.
Yes, this episode is brought to you by amazing pure organic barley, which provides you with stamina and vigor
Mhm.
to survive long hours of work and play. For inquiries, please contact Miss Jess Esquilio. You may also contact her at jess@esquilio.de for more informations.
I am Maritoni Fernandez, and we are in the middle of a barley field here in Swan Hill, Australia.
Well, we think we have the best barley in the world because of our clean irrigation water. Water comes from the Murray River, which is a freshwater river. All our drinking water comes from the Murray River too. So it's full of nutrients, and also the climate is perfect for growing winter cereals. Clean, green, certified organic.
Yeah, we're certified with NASA, which is one of the Australian certifications for organic. IAM Worldwide gets its barley grass powders from Herbal, which sources them from us at Nutrigreen, so you're guaranteed the best barley grass powders in the world.
I am truly proud to say that we are now the sole distributor in the Philippines for Nutrigreen barley.
That's amazing. Pure organic barley provides you with stamina and vigor to survive long hours of work and play. For inquiries, please contact Miss Jess Esquilio at jessesquilio.de for more information.
So, Maria, where are the space stations in the Philippines?
I don't know where.
Okay, the PEDRO or Pedro Center operates three multi-mission ground receiving stations in the Philippines located in Metro Manila, Davao and Iloilo, currently operated by the DOST ASTI. The Pedro Center is one of the space infrastructure components intended to be transitioned to the PhilSA, yeah, Philippine
Ooh.
Space Agency.
Where are the space stations here in Europe?
Yes, the space stations for the European Space Agency are located all around the world. So we have one in Kourou where
But here
our
in
launch
Europe, it's
pads.
in Paris, right?
In Paris is yes,
One,
there's one. London has one, and Spain has one also. Yeah, yeah.
In Germany.
Germany has the operation center, so they have one too.
Okay, so, and in connection with that, our guest for today is a graduate of Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Science in Economics from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. An experience in the interface of technology and the law, she is also well versed in international space law, its principles, developments, and current issues. A skilled litigation lawyer in civil, criminal, labor, and administrative cases, has been a corporate secretary and legal counsel for various real estate developers, banks, trading, manufacturing, import, export, maritime, and gaming corporations. Ladies and gentlemen, the director for Space Policy and International Cooperation Bureau of the Philippine Space Agency, Attorney Noel Riza D. Castillo.
Hello, welcome to TalkAlley.
It's an
Hello,
honor.
Maria and Mike. I'm happy to be
Yes.
here. Good evening from the Philippines.
Yes.
Hello, good evening to
What
the
time is it here?
Philippines.
Attorney
8:08.
Noel, this is really very exciting. Actually, I was surprised that we have a really functioning, space agency.
Yes, I was surprised also in the beginning. So, good evening, Attorney Noel, or do you prefer that we call you Norris
Norris,
before we
yes,
get
that's
down to
my
business?
nickname.
Okay,
Okay,
Norris.
okay.
So
First, yeah. To start off, how's the COVID situation there?
Okay. Well, COVID situation here. We're slowly recovering.
Mhm.
The
Oh,
lockdowns are
great.
not so severe anymore. The
Mhm.
cases are going down, but of course not yet. We're not yet there. Still in the 1,000 plus up. We have
Mhm.
to make sure that our hospitals can recover also because they cannot be overwhelmed by too many patients. That's
Mhm.
why
Yeah.
we limit really the movement of people, especially here in the capital region, national capital
Yes.
region. But right now, vaccinations are ongoing.
That's wonderful.
I think more than 50% here in Metro Manila have been vaccinated, so that's good. Now the
Yeah.
vaccination drive is in the provinces, and we're also starting the booster shots for our
That's
health
good.
professionals, and also the children are, I mean, younger than 18 are now
Mhm.
also getting their vaccines. So we are fighting it, and we're winning it. I'm going to claim it.
Yes.
Winning
And
it
of
Yes,
already.
course, I believe that because we have the best frontliners in the world as well.
that is true.
Yes.
Yes,
And of
those are
course,
our
Mike,
frontliners.
yeah, you're right, Norris.
Yes.
Mike, Norris, the sky above up is full of exciting prospects, new journeys, new knowledge, and new technology. And women, like me, are a key factor in the new phase of the space race. From engineers and tech CEOs to astronauts and space recruiters, gifted and passionate women worldwide are focusing their eyes on the astronomical horizon. In Asia alone, India is also emerging as a huge player in space technology, and one of its stars is Minal Sampath, as one of the head engineers at the Indian Space Research Organization. She's overseen the launch of the country's Mars orbiter mission in 2013, and in 2017, its record-setting launch of 104 satellites at once. Can you
Yes,
imagine that?
that's a lot of.
Yes, that's a lot. And of course, in the Philippines, we have here Exhibit A is Attorney Noris. So, tell us briefly about the Philippine Space Agency and what kind of programs do we have there?
Well, yes. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, I'm very happy to introduce the Philippine Space Agency to you, Maria and Mike, and our Filipino community there in Germany and around the world. The Philippine Space Agency was established in 2019 when the
Mhm.
Philippine Space Act was enacted. So since then, we have been slowly building up our um, agency. Our head is Director General Joel Joseph Marciano, a space scientist, a space engineer, and our Deputy Director General, you will be happy to know, is a woman, one of the members of the Women in Space, Deputy Director General Gay Jane Perez, a multi-awarded scientist in the Philippines. And in the Philippine Space Agency, although we are a young agency, we're not really starting from scratch because even before the establishment of the Philippine Space Agency, there have already been space programs sponsored by the Department of Science and Technology. So even before the Philippine Space Agency was established, there are existing space programs already. That's
Mhm.
why we have we have been able to make our own satellites already here in the Philippines through partner. First of all, it was through educational partnerships with Japan, the universities in Japan. We sent our scholars there to learn about making satellites. Until now, we are making it our own here, and so we just launched Maya 3 and 4 recently through the ISS into their orbit. That's our latest satellites. What are our programs? Well, we're big on space education. We just launched our scholarship because we are encouraging more more individuals, more Filipinos to go into the space sector. Most especially, of course, now because the theme of the World Space Week is World Women in Space.
In space, yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
our tagline is "Join the Mission." So we are most especially encouraging women to go into STEM, space,
Yes.
science, technology, and STEAM na pala siya ngayon, no, with arts.
Yeah.
Yan. So what are we, other programs are, we're developing now our more powerful satellite now, Mula satellite. It will be more powerful Earth observation satellite. And yes, slowly building our agency with all our programs.
Besides the, of course, the satellites that you have now, the programs and encouraging the women to be a part of the agency, what is really the mandate of the Philippine Space Agency?
The mandate of Philippine Space Agency is to implement the space programs of the Philippines. And we have key development areas that includes space education, hazard management, international cooperation. That's the bureau that I lead. So with with the key development areas, we intend to the Philippine Space Agency is mandated to lead the country's efforts so that we can create value in space to and from Filipinos. Our main aim is to build a robust and strong space ecosystem that will be flowing from the scientists, innovation from the scientists to the government to create policy, and then these policies we hope, or we our goal is that these policies will create opportunities in the business and private sector so that the end user, our fellow Filipinos will be able to, their lives will be added value through space technology.
Yes.
Okay. I also worked in the same. I'm
Yes,
working also in the same
excellent.
field on the technical side, and that's the only thing I can say because most of the things are, of course, confidential, and I could be going to jail. So this is a shout out to my colleagues to Essa and Rhea. One question: how many are working or solely for the Philippine Space Agency?
How many employees?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, according to our organizational staffing, we're supposed to be around 200, 204. Right now, we are at 70,
Mm-hmm.
70
Okay.
plus, 70 or 80. and our projection is to be about 100 by end of the year, and we hope to complete the 200, to hire the 200 by next year.
Okay. Attorney Norris, you are currently the Director 4 of the Space Policy and International Cooperation Bureau. What does your
Yes.
office do for the benefit of everybody?
Our office handles space policy. Of course,
Hmm.
space policy is space law. It's actually space law, and space law is inherently an international field. You know that because outer space is not owned by anyone,
Yes.
so all the
Hmm.
nations we have to cooperate there. So we operate by policy. So our
Mm-hmm.
office provides direction in that. We are also the lawyers of the agency. Under the space policy, under SPICB, ang tawag doon SPICB, Space Policy and International Cooperation Bureau, are two divisions, the Space Policy and Legal Division. So these are composed of the lawyers. So they handle the policy and the legal services for the agency. And then the next division is the International Cooperation Division, Space Policy and International Cooperation Division. In this division, we handle our relationships and our transactions with counterpart government agencies, space agencies, and international organizations like the
Hmm.
USA. You know, also,
Yeah.
Mike, although I know it's also confidential, but we're having some negotiations now with ESA. You might be
Yeah.
happy to know that. We can talk about it privately, but
Yeah.
we're having
It's
some
like,
international cooperation activities with ESA.
yeah.
So we hope
Okay.
to confirm that soon. In fact, when we went to the International Astronautical Congress in Dubai,
Hmm.
and we met with a representative from ESA there on how we can speed things up
Okay.
Yeah,
with
that's
regards to
great news.
international
And you can
cooperation
proudly say
partnership.
that, Philippines is a Philippine space agency
Yes, I
now.
can probably say because I also was surprised, and I can probably
Yeah.
say yes, Philippines is also participating among international collaborations. You are collaborating with Japan,
They
right?
just signed a deal
Yes.
for space
Japan,
cooperation with the United Nations as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Yeah.
UNOSA, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With UNOSA, we signed a memorandum of understanding, and under that, we are to cooperate, and we hope to be mutually beneficial to each
Benefits, yeah.
other, especially in capacity building of the Philippine Space Agency. We're going to be part of the programs of UNOSA, especially on the space law for new space actors and UN Spider and other programs.
Mhm.
And with
So,
Japan, it's actually
yeah.
a continuation of our partnerships of before with Japan,
Mhm.
especially we started with the Department of Science and Technology, and now with the Philippine Space Agency, it's more specialized now in space technology.
A few weeks ago, actually October, right? The Philippine Space Agency World Space Week 2021 was celebrated there. It's entitled Women in Space,
Mhm.
and the PhilSA also celebrated it. Now, according to the UN Affairs, the number of women employed in the international space industry represents just 20% of the workforce. According to figures released by the UN, roughly the same proportion as 30 years ago. This data reminds me of the film Hidden Figures. Are you familiar with the film?
Yes,
Right?
Hidden Figures is the story of the influential. I just forgot her name. What's her name?
Katherine Johnson.
Katherine Johnson, yes,
Yeah.
in NASA, right? And
Yes.
her mathematical computations was
Yes.
Yeah.
instrumental in
It's
the
amazing.
They're
success
like
of
the
that
human
program.
computers then.
Yes, that's
They
correct.
helped launch the
Apollo.
former Senator John Glenn, who's the oldest man in space as
Mm.
well. So those women of color helped launch that mission. Yeah, what do you think are the factors why women are less likely to join the space industry, like in the Philippines?
Well, in the Philippines, the factors are, well, of course, culturally, women are not really encouraged to go into that. Although I don't
Yeah.
want to believe that that's still true. We're
Mm.
more progressive now, and what men can do, we can do even better. Uh,
Yes.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
He agrees. Okay.
no,
So,
I think
yeah.
that's the main that's the main reason. That's why the solution is really to go down the basic, to go into the basic education and encourage from there, encourage our young ladies from there to explore, explore opportunities. If it is their interest, we should encourage them to follow that interest.
Yes, because space is really interesting.
Yeah.
So, a brief history about European Space Agency, especially the women.
Really?
They can
Okay.
find
Wow,
these informations also on the website esa.int.
So he's promoting Isa now. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
yes. So 1910, Raymond de la Roche, a Frenchman, first woman, French woman,
Ah.
first woman to gain pilot's license. 1911, Harriet Quimby, first American female licensed pilot, astronaut testing. 1963, Valentina Tereshkova, USSR, first woman in space.
Wow, so from 1910, it took them like 50 years before flying to space. That's really wow. Okay, thank you, Mike, for sharing the bit of history of women
wonderful.
in space. Space for women means strengthened awareness. For me, it has the capacity to empower young women and girls globally and promote gender equality as well. How do you do that in your workplace? Like, do you like go school to school to do that? Because for us, we didn't really have the knowledge that there was an existing and functioning, space agency. So how do you promote it there in the Philippines?
Well, since we're young, we're really in the promotional stage. We're active in publicity. Our PR team is actively promoting the Philippine Space Agency and join the mission. That's our tagline. We're recruiting those who are interested to come join the space sector in whatever sector that it may not be in technical side. It may be in space policy, in the public sector, in the private sector. So that's one thing we're doing. We've also made, as the Philippine Space Agency, we've also made some interface already with our education sector on how we can inject interest, building interest among young children, young girls, focus on young girls, but really in general, to build interest in the space industry so that they will when it is time for them to choose their careers, they will know that there are opportunities here in the space industry.
Yeah,
That's
like
why and
here,
and
Esa, during the lockdown, our
yes,
family, we joined that competition. What was that?
That was the Moon Challenge.
Moon
new
Challenge.
challenge.
Yeah, by the European Space Association. So anyone can join. They did a competition online. You can create a habitat like with your children to live in the moon. How are you going to survive the moon? So what's the technology you're going to bring? So those are the things that they trigger the children's interest. So we joined it. It was fun. So what
What
opportunity specifically
Yes,
can
yes, please.
women? Yeah, okay. Yes, please.
I'm sorry. I just remember during World Space Week
Yes.
when we celebrated, we had a
Yeah.
similar activity for young children. Build your own satellite.
Oh,
So
Okay.
it
okay.
was like a session where they were taught how to build, and then um, they were able to build their own satellite.
Was that on
So
site or was it
online,
sent
no, online,
online?
Online.
Okay.
online. When we
Yes,
celebrated
that's
it,
great.
the World Space Week, just this
World
October.
Space Week.
That
So
World
was it
Space
the
Week.
first, or are you celebrating it yearly? Um,
first time for Philsa,
yeah.
first time for
Ah,
us,
Okay.
okay.
And who
And
won?
first time for
yeah.
us.
And who won the competition?
I don't have the information right
Anyway,
now. There was
congratulations to
Yes.
the winner.
yes,
That's
Yes, to
a
the
really,
pioneers and
yes.
explorers. That's really good.
yes.
Yeah, right. They're the pioneers of the competition. Congratulations. What an honor. And of course, there's a lot of opportunities, as Attorney Norris mentioned, for the in the Philippine Space Agency, especially for women. It's now open. They're open for recruitment, and yeah, they're encouraging students to be in that field. But Mike, the latest program, I'm gonna blow your mind.
Mhm.
The latest program of the space agency, as she mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
was Mula satellite, which is known to be the next generation of Earth observation satellites. It's called the Multispectral Unit of Land Assessment, or MULA for short.
Yeah.
It is the country's biggest since the Philippines' first generation microsatellites Diwata 1 and Diwata 2, and the Cube satellite. I saw this. The Cube satellites Maya 1 and Maya 2 were launched to space orbit. So they are trying to release this into space in 2023,
Yeah.
and there are four Filipino women scientists who are spearheading it. Mula Systems Engineer Dr. Julie Ann Banatao, Ground Segment Engineer Kizia Bartilad of the Stamina Force Space Program, and Spacecraft Operations Engineer Shilo Muta of the Space Mission Control and Operations Division of Philippine Space Agency, and PhilSA Deputy Director General and Mula Project Leader Gay Jane P. Perez.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, but to date, no Filipino has left our planet. Yeah. And Norris, do you also dream that maybe one day we will be able to send the first Filipino in space?
Yes. That's our dream. That's our
Yes.
dream. And that's why we are building our capacities now so that when the time comes, we will be ready. We are making those opportunities available for those who are interested for training. We want to give information, and we want to prepare the Philippine Space Agency for that time when we are ready to send out Filipinos in outer space. Can we hope we are
Yes.
Yes.
going to do it?
So at least our hopes and our tech is already going up into space. I can also be proud that my that I'm working for the European Space Agency because my code base is going up there already. That's something that is nice. Yeah,
Yes.
those are informations that are also found in the ESA website. So how many satellites are there now? So I can see here Divata
For
1 and Divata 2, Maya 1 and Maya 2, and now the
Three
Mula
and
is
four.
going to be the fifth. Yeah, 3 and 4.
Three and four, no, my 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Diwata 2, I think Diwata 1 has been decommissioned, either Diwata
Mm-hmm.
1 or Diwata 2.
Okay.
So now we have five
the
there.
cube. Yeah.
Yep,
5 all in all.
Mixas and
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Diwata, and Mula will be the next. We're now currently in development stage for
Okay.
this.
And they were
Our
all developed together with all solely alone or in collaboration with NASA, ESA, with the Japanese. It's called
I
JAXA, right?
think now
JAXA is the.
UK is
Mm,
Yes,
collaborating with Filipino
yes.
scientists.
yes.
Yes.
The first ones, it was with JAXA, not
Mm,
Mhm.
exactly JAXA, but Japan universities.
Yeah.
okay.
But we launched them through NASA.
Mm,
Mhm.
But this one, we are collaborating with a UK company.
Mhm. Yes.
okay,
This
that's
one,
nice because we also have some collaborations with Japan. That is the LSID.
uh-huh.
For the they're trying to collect space debris. Yeah, but this is all known in the
Newspapers.
on the newspapers. Yes, this is information I can disclose. So
Okay, so you're now
Um,
okay,
yeah,
great.
so we are going to read questions sent to us by our viewers. Are you ready? So these are,
Sure.
and one is from Juan Tapulan. Hope the space agency can offer more services to enhance territorial awareness, rescue and emergency response, even secure communication. I think you're doing that now, right?
Yes, we are harnessing the data from
Yeah.
space, um, and they are being used for disaster management,
Mm.
climate awareness in the Philippines by the concerned agencies. But I
Okay.
will let our technical people know about this suggestion about yeah, Philippine Space
Yeah.
Agency is also involved in national security. We also
Yes.
contribute to the efforts to enhance the territorial security of the Philippines.
Mm.
Okay.
We're also
Um,
in cooperation with other agencies doing that.
okay. Where do you have your operation centers?
Right? Operation, you mean ground receiving?
Mm.
Yes. For example,
Oh,
here
well,
we are here in Darmstadt. This is the operations center for the European Space Agency.
for now, since you mentioned earlier that they are still with the Department of Science and Technology to be
Mm,
transferred to
Mm.
us. So one is in there are ground receiving stations in Davao,
mm-hmm,
and then there's one in Quezon City, our control station, the Pedro
mm-hmm,
station.
Oh.
mm-hmm.
And one in
Those are not
Iloilo.
yet being, those will be transferred to PhilSA eventually,
Ah, okay.
Okay.
because
Okay.
by law, all the space programs will be transferred to PhilSA. Space programs started and now being operated by the Department of Science and Technology. But
Okay.
according to law, we will have a space center in the New Clark City.
Mm-hmm,
If you read the Philippine Space Act,
Mm.
the law specifically states that the Philippine Space Agency Space Center will be there, built there.
Mhm.
So now we're in the stage of designing it. We're procuring our designer so we can design a master development plan for the complex.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
really
that
So
exciting times.
earlier message was sent by Juan Tapulan. Thank you, Juan. And
When
these
is the tentative?
the other this one from Chandler Team C Doloriel. When is the tentative launch of Mula?
Mula, well, you mentioned earlier our target is
2023.
2023.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the only thing they can say, guys. Sorry.
What's
yes.
happening?
Okay, so Kate, if you could name a star or planet, what would you name it?
Really? Is it for me? Is it
Yeah,
like,
it's for you. Here, I could even
well,
show
I'll name
you
it.
there.
You could name a star. You guys find what would you name it? I will
Yeah.
name it my name
Yeah, of course. That's like
so
once
that
in
I'll have a
a
presence there
million.
in outer space, the North
Definitely. So
Star.
there's another one here. Are you also planning to go to the moon?
Uh, Everything is a possibility, and we're
Mm,
not closing
right.
our doors.
And there's another. If you were given a choice to bring an object in space, what would it be? If food and water is not a problem.
What would it be?
Yes.
Funny, this was one of the games during our Philsa anniversary. What would you bring to outer space? I forgot what I answered, but right now I'm thinking I'll bring my phone. I hope it works there.
Of course it will, right? You're also working on the communication system. So here, if
Yes.
it's a question.
If you had the opportunity to go to Mars, would you go?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, me
Everything is a
too. How about
possibility.
you?
Even
How
if
about
it's
you?
like a one-way ticket?
One way
Yeah.
ticket?
Usually it is just a one-way ticket, right? Like in
Yes.
Elon Musk.
Let's say we are not that advanced yet that we are the capabilities to have like in between stations where we fuel up and can go back. It's like you go there and then you live there and then you will have your life there. Like, have a, yeah.
Well, I know that now there are programs going to that, right?
Yeah.
Other countries are actually preparing for that eventuality when
Mm.
people will be leaving Earth to live in other planets.
Mm.
But for me, if I had an opportunity, I just like to visit Mars.
Here, hi, Attorney Norris. I'm one of the young engineers in the Philippines that would love to work at PhilSA. But the thing is, I'm not very confident with my qualifications. Is there any suggestion you can give us young enthusiasts who are planning to enter the field of space research?
Thank you for the question.
Thank you,
Oh,
Lino Bernas.
hello, Lino. I'm happy to know that you're a young engineer and you would love to work at PhilSA. We would love to have you. Why are you not confident with your qualifications? I want
Yeah.
to know. But just to give tips to our young people there who are dreaming of working at PhilSA, just continue to work on your qualifications if you're not yet satisfied with them. Get into those programs that are available to you, build your knowledge, and then take note of the qualifications needed to enter the government service, because there are certain qualifications needed that some are not aware of, like you have to pass the civil service exam. If you're not a if your course is not does not give a board exam, which will automatically be considered as you're passing the civil service exam. But that's one of the qualifications. You have to pass that exam, and other qualifications like years of experience depending on the position that you are applying for. But for now, just go and capacitate yourself, and then
Yeah,
yes,
go.
when the time comes, I hope to see you at Philsa.
Yes,
And
good luck, Lino.
yes,
And of
Lino,
course, we
and
have a lot of questions. If you met an alien, would you be friendly to them?
wait,
No.
depends what will the alien look like.
I'd probably run away.
Uh,
Okay, so final question, Mike. There's just so many questions, but let us give her the final question. Oh,
It's already in the final question, yeah?
yeah. What advice would
Yeah,
you
here.
like?
What advice would you like to give to those who aspire to become or pursue the dream of exploring space?
ooh. Well, if you're Filipino,
Mm-hmm.
work together with the Philippine Space Agency. So we can help you, provide the opportunities for you, and there are scholarships available so that you can be prepared for that opportunity when the time comes, and go into that field of study or field of training that will give you the tools that you will need later when the opportunity arises. There, that's
Great.
my
This
advice.
has been very educational, and especially,
Mm.
the people here in Europe and the OFWs who will be watching the show after their shift, after their work. Thank you very much for always, our viewers are growing every week, and we thank all the
Wow,
OFWs all over Europe
congratulations.
for watching.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yeah. Um, yeah, they usually watch it after their workload is over. So it's okay. We understand the show is to reach out to the Filipino community here in Europe anyway. So
So,
we thank you so
thank you
much
so much
for
for
being
being
in
at
the
Talk
show.
Alley.
And
Well,
congratulations to Filsa, of course.
thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you. More
Bye.
you.
power to your show. Bye.
Thank
Yes, thank you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
And hello to my PhilSouth office mates.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello po
I
sa
hope they
inyo.
watch.
Shout out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was just wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, everything is so, I and also I think UP Diliman, Mike, the possibilities are limitless for PhilSA, when it comes to space exploration in the Philippines in general, because they only just started. So the Department of Science and Technology is in partnership with UP Diliman, University of the Philippines Diliman, and is now offering and encouraging students to enroll in aerospace engineering courses as an avenue for the Filipino youth to pursue studies and a career in space technology and industry. I miss this opportunity. I would have gotten, aerospace engineering if I was still there. Of course, here in Europe, there's so many courses, no? Like,
Yes, yeah. There's, for example, here in Darmstadt, the newer course that is the um, aerospace or space engineering. Yeah, for masterals in English also. If
they're
you
already doing masterals.
Yes, if
Okay.
you're interested into, but all the universities around here, from Munich until the University of Milan, and are offering these kind of courses.
Courses for
Yes, yeah,
space
for space.
exploration. Yeah, that's great. So, did you know who the first Asian woman in space? From
No.
which country?
Um, I would say Australia.
No, it's Japan. So the first Japanese woman in space or Asian in space was Chiaki Mukai.
Mm.
That was in 1952. Oh, when my mother was born.
Okay.
Okay. So STS-65 was the mission and STS-95. Oh, no. She was born in 52, I think. And the missions were in 1994 and 98.
Yes.
Mike, what comes to mind when you hear the word space?
When I hear the word space,
What?
when I hear the word space, yeah, it's vast amount of yeah,
Yeah, unlimited.
emptiness and
Emptiness?
yeah, well, it's
What?
mostly empty as if you would take that in
No, it's
ratio
not.
proportions. The amount of matter and the amount of spaces in between. That's why it's called space. Yeah. But a lot to explore. That would come to my mind if I think of the word space. A lot to explore.
A lot to explore. Exactly. That's why. And when you showed me the satellites surrounding Earth, that's like just too much exploration. Do you think there's too much exploration already?
No, it is just not enough management on how to deal with the amount of space debris. They call it.
Speaking of space debris, recently, was there news about
Yes,
Russia?
the Russians have been criticized to shoot down, also literally
Yeah.
shooting. That's what they call decommissioning their
Yeah.
own satellite because it's dangerous. The space debris that is floating around in upper orbits can hit the International Space Station, the ISS. Yeah, even if they are that small, not bigger than my eyeball. If they reach velocities of thousands of kilometers per hour, they can make the International Space Station to a cheese cheddar, and then it's gone.
Oh, yeah, I think. Oh, the first. I remember I mentioned earlier the Japanese woman in space.
Mm.
Well, she's the first woman, Asian woman, but actually, there's an Asian person is different also. He's from Vietnam.
Yeah.
His name is Pam Tuan. Our most of our friends are last name Tuan, right? It's like a common last name in Vietnam. The first Vietnamese and first person of Southeast Asian origin to be in space. Wow, amazing. Hopefully, the Philippines will have someone, um, exploring space as well in the
Yes, this
future.
would be a great milestone again. Also to have a
For
Filipino up in space. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just amazing that they're already investing, a lot in space exploration. Although, of course, Elon Musk has also been continuously criticized
Very
for
successful, but
very
criticized.
successful, but at the same time, they're also questioning his intentions of exploring Mars and spending a lot of money there,
Yeah.
where he can
Why not?
invest
Why
that
not? I
money in
mean,
creating this world a better place.
yes. Why not? I mean, we need eventually someday a plan B.
I think the moon is the closest.
Yeah, or a outer
But
station.
which planet would you go to if you had the opportunity?
I don't know. If I would find an exoplanet, I would go there if we
Exo,
can.
like only with the planets that are
This is
existing,
around.
yeah, around Earth.
I heard one of the moons of Saturn and Jupiter are very in
That's too far.
habitable. Well,
I mean, Venus already is the closest, but come on, it's too hot there.
yeah,
It can
that's
even
true.
melt alloy, I
Yeah,
think, right,
yeah.
in Venus. So
Maybe
they want.
maybe Mars if we are able to terraform it, then yeah, then
I
Mars.
think moon is habitable. Can you imagine people are dancing in the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah. See, there are so many thoughts and questions about space and space exploration. So if you have
yeah.
questions, then raise them up to
Oh,
attorney.
yeah. And before, of course, before I say
Yes.
goodbye, I want to say hello to Jessica Gross, my friend.
Hello,
Thank you
Jessica.
very much for, giving us the opportunity to be with Attorney Noel today because Jessica introduced me to her and I thank her a lot for, providing the bridge
Yeah.
to have this opportunity to learn more about the Philippine Space Agency. And I'm so very proud, of what they've done so far. And I want to say hello to the group of people called Frankfurt for Lenny. We're gathering today in Frankfurt. Hello, guys,
Hello,
and I
Frankfurt for
hope
Lenny.
you're having a great time there. Stay safe. Wear your mask, of course. And we know that the COVID situation is not doing well right now, so please be safe. And do you want to greet anyone else?
Well, no, I greeted already earlier my colleagues here. I greet my family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course. And good evening again to the Philippines and good day here in Germany.
Yes.
I'm Maria.
And I'm Mike. Listeners and viewers, please enjoy the rest of the Sunday and have a good start in the next week. Stay safe and healthy. Bye.
Bye.